good morning. It is May 15th. I'm Kimberly with Fat Quarter Shop, and we are on block 13 of the Sewcialites quilt along, meaning we're right in the very middle of the free quilt along. We're going to go over block 13. I'm going to do an emphasis on square and a square blocks because those are my very least favorite blocks. And I'm going to do a preview of Lori Holt's brand new Granny Square Along crochet book. I'm going to show you some of the stuff I'm working on behind the scenes with the book. I'm going to show you a little bit of quilting progress, and then we're going to have a Moda preview and a Lori Holt preview and a Ruby Star preview, and then a what's new. So you might grab a cup of coffee. I might be here quite a while. It might be 2.5 hours. So we're going to just jump right in and talk about Sewcialites. If you're new to this channel or Fat Quarter Shop, this is our free quilt along for all of you. That we are on Sewcialites 3. So there's a Sewcialites 1 and a Sewcialites 2. They all have free blocks. All of them have free blocks in the 3-inch, 6-inch, and 9-inch size. You can find the videos for blocks 1 through 12 in our Sewcialites 3 playlist. The block I'm doing throughout this series is the 6-inch size using the Lighter Rose collection by Bunny Hill Designs. And do I do the tutorial or Joanna first?
Joanna.
Okay, so let me show you Joanna's blocks. This design is called Back Porch, and it's designed by Joanna Figueroa of Fig Tree Quilts. You all probably know and love her. And what I wanted to really point out in her 3 blocks, she made all 3 sizes, and she used the, what's the name of the collection again?
Rosy.
She used the Rosy collection, and what I wanted to point out was she used this, oh, I grabbed the wrong one. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong one. This one as her background, so you can see how that really changes the look of her block completely. She still left this as a light, but this totally changes the look of it. And then I'm going to show you her quilt that she has. This is a free pattern on her website using that same block. So if you want that free pattern, you can find that on Fig Tree Quilts blog or her website. And this is her very favorite block. If we go back, I think 19 years to Designer Mystery Block 1, this was block 1. So this was the very first block that Joanna ever designed for us in a 12-inch size. This is her and I last week at H&H. We've been friends for quite a long time, and she's so cute. I got to meet her oldest son, which he lives in Chicago, so that was totally awesome. And Eric, of course, was there. This is her latest collection, which is called Summer's End. And so you've probably seen this collection. It's got the really nice honey golds, and we do have all of her pre-cuts and her yardage. So this is her newest collection. In the Moda preview, I'm going to get to show you one that's even further out. So in here, you're going to see 3 of her collections. So this one is Summer's End. And then here are some of the patterns that go with Summer's End. This is Patchwork Kites, and she's actually hosting a quilt along right now. If you are on Facebook, she has a Joanna Figueroa Fig Tree Quilts Facebook group. I'm not sure the exact name, but they're having a sew along with this. Plow and Harvest. These are just some of her existing patterns. And then this one uses that same background that you saw. So these are from Summer's End right here. And then her Rosy collection is the one that had the blue from it. And this is one of her eyelets. So Joanna has a basic group. The SKU number is 20488. I only know that because it's on the salvage. But she has eyelets in different colors. She's got some backgrounds. She has like red, green, yellow. So this is one of her eyelets. So this is great because this is something that we should always have in stock because it is a basic. I would really love it if Moda made these a basic also, just because there's so many great colors that she has of those. And this one again is the Rosy collection. This is the collection that came before Summer's End, and we still have lots of it. And this one has a beautiful floral. I think I've made a couple things out of this collection, but off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly what I've made. So let's jump into the block and talk about kind of the meat and potatoes of the block. So again, you can make this in a 3-inch, a 6-inch, or a 9-inch size. If you're going to do the 3-inch size, I'm going to really highly suggest the square and square paper. You would use the 1-inch square and square paper. For the 6-inch block, you need the 2-inch square and square paper. And for the 9-inch block, you need the 3-inch square and square paper. Now, a lot of times I demonstrate on this channel how to do it the traditional way, but today we're not going to do that because I never, and that means never, ever, ever make a square and a square block without paper. This has always been a struggle of mine, and before we came out with the It's Sew and a square and a square paper, I would avoid any block that had a square and a square. I would just, if there was a quilt that I was going to make, I'd just try to, I might just skip the whole quilt because I didn't want to make a square and a square block because I could never get them exactly right. And this one has lots of points, so you've got to have points that match up, you know, throughout this block. So this one I would say is an intermediate block. If you want to make it a little bit easier, you could make this just a square fabric and do one less square and a square if you're trying to, you know, accomplish the block, but do it just a tiny, tiny bit easier. That would be one option. So I'm going to be using the 2-inch square and a square paper, and I'm going to give you all the tips that I use. I will tell you the way that I do this is a little bit finicky, and it's a little bit obsessive, and it's a little bit weird. So you're going to have to just kind of go along with me because I am trying to show you what I actually do, and I 100% realize the way I do this is backwards and weird, but I really want a perfect block, and this is the only way I have ever figured out a way to make this unit. Okay, so we're going to start with making one of these. So I'm going to get the light box. I'm going to pull one of these squares, so the 2-inch square and a square paper. Anytime I use any type of square and a square paper or any type of foundation paper, unless it's flying geese, I don't do it with flying geese, but I'm going to crease all of these lines right here. And you want to have it really nice and sharp, if that makes sense, so that when you look at the back, you can just see it. Because from the back in my sewing room, I don't have great lighting, even though I've done like a cajillion things to get good lighting. I won't be able to see those lines in my sewing room. So I'm going to move this. And I would say sometimes I use the Caterpillar Glow Light, and sometimes I don't. So it's basically just a light box. And it kind of depends how much I'm going to be doing that day. But I will say I love it because I store mine standing up, and then I plug it in right here. And then I don't have to basically have a flat surface for it because I don't have a lot of flat surfaces left. So I love that I can store it that way. There's 3 versions of lights. At home, I use the brightest. Here for Jordan, I'm going to use the lightest because if not, it's going to blow out the camera. Okay, so we're going to talk about a couple different things with square and a square. For your cutting, you would look at the back cover, and for placement 1, you need a 2 1/4 inch square, and for the placements on the outside, 2 3/4. Do I cut that? I don't, because this is the size you're supposed to cut. So if you do that, you're going to have your stripes going diagonally, which is totally fine, but I would really like mine to go up and down because I just think doing it diagonally is not going to come out as accurate, and it's just going to it's going to drive me crazy. So on this one, I just cut a bigger square. I basically just said, what size is this paper, and cut a square because I want them to go up and down. I just think it'll look better cohesively. So you can see the numbers. I'm gonna put some glue on the number 1, and then I'm gonna put this up and down. And I really want it to be straight, because once you pull this back, if it's not straight, it's gonna look bad. So that is important. And this is not as important if you weren't doing a stripe. If I was doing a normal block without a stripe, I would cut a smaller size. Before I do anything, I'm gonna, oh, sorry, Jordan. I'm gonna trim a 1/4 inch away from all 4 sides. And this is a little bit different than what most people do. The biggest thing here is your glue needs to hold it so it does not start shifting. Once it starts shifting, it'll probably start shifting since I'm on camera, but it kind of becomes the pain if it starts shifting.
You can go one brighter if you want.
Oh, it's okay. Okay. So now I have that. And just to confirm, it's gonna look just like this because I'm gonna add the corners. Okay, so just like I said, anytime I do square and a square, square and a square, doesn't matter what size it is, whatever size it says for placements 2 through 5, I cut a 1/4 inch bigger always, because I don't wanna have to center and make sure I get coverage. I always go a little bit bigger, it's just what I do. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna sew 2 and 3. I'm gonna put this right side together on number 2. I'm gonna flip that over. I'm going to start way over here. And I'm gonna start stitching, and I'm gonna go all the way across the paper, all the way to the fabric. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on side 3, and then we're gonna have some fun cutting. So just kind of keep that in place. I'm using this open toe foot right here, and I can just, because I've creased it, see where that crease is? I can sew on that crease line. You can see it, yeah. So just sew on that crease line. And you can see I've gone all the way off the paper. There's a reason why. I also put my stitch length to a 1.5. I'm gonna pull this back, do the same thing over here. And if you cut exactly like the pattern said, you really would have to center this. Because I made it so big, I don't have to worry about that when I'm at the sewing machine. And again, I'm gonna sew on that creased line. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is gonna be weird to you, but I'm gonna take off the 2 and the 3. I don't think anybody else does that, but I'm gonna explain why I do that in a second. Square and a square, there are so many bulky seams. Anytime I make a square and a square, I'm gonna press that open. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just press it flat. Then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna make this open. Then I'm gonna come back and see I've already cut this part right here off, this red. So now all I have to do is on the white, just cut across, because you've already cut the red. Kind of saves a step. And this is where it is important that your glue is steady or strong enough so you don't want it to fall apart. So then I'm going to go backwards. Sorry, I'm going to keep going. And here it's going to look funny because you don't have a crease, but I'm going to start way out here, go all the way across, and all the way across. I'm going to do that on 4 and 5. So I've gone all the way across, and if you're a beginner and you're worried about that line, you could draw it if you wanted to with a friction pen. Same thing, right sides together. Okay, so now I'm gonna do something even crazier. I'm gonna take all the paper off because I want to press this completely open, and the only way to do that is to have the paper off because you can't press open with paper on there. Press open. Okay, so because this is a 2.5 inch square, you can kind of double check by doing that, if that makes sense, so you know you're trimming the right square. This is where I really use a light box because you don't have the paper. Usually you put this on the back and you trim around the paper. I don't have that. So with Creative Grids rulers, they have a white line that goes right in the center. So I'm going to put that white line just like that. So the white line is going here and here. And then I want to make sure I have not chopped off any of these. These should be exactly at 1/4 inch. That's why I have all of the Creative Grids square rulers. And if I had to do this and it was a weird size, I might just not do it. Because I never get good results with square to square. And I will say with this glow mat, the light does stays on a long time. Okay, now here's the most important part. It's on the back. I don't want to see these little thingamajiggies right here. I'm going to cut those off. Because if you leave those in there, you have bulk in your seams. So see, by cutting that out, you've reduced some of your bulk and it'll just make it go easier. Okay, so that's step one. And now I have 4 of these because Teresa already made them. She made them exactly the same. And we made sure the stripes all went the same way. And then we'd made the center one, so that's easy. I didn't know why that was up. I was wondering why it was up, and then I was like, maybe I thought there was an extra screen. I was so confused, but that's okay. He had both up, and I was confused. But that's okay. Okay, so now we're going to talk about this little 2-patch. It's not really called a 2-patch, but anytime I'm going to do something that's I can make a long strip, I'm not going to cut 8 squares or 8 rectangles and subcut it. I'm going to cut 2 rectangles, sew a seam, and trim it down. So on A and D, 1.5 by 2.5. 1.5 is this size. So I cut it 2 inches. You could have cut it 1 3/4. I just thought 2 inches would make more sense. It's 2.5 inches wide. 2.5 times 4 is 10 inches. So I cut it 11. So basically, I have figured out the math on 4. I've made it 1/2 inch bigger here and 1 inch bigger here. Because this is going to be really quick to make all of these, you just put it right sides together. We're going to change to a 1/4 inch foot. Sew with a 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to press open and then show you how to subcut. I did my stitch length just a little bit bigger. The glue that I used is Sewline glue. It's also Sew Daily glue. It's just a glue stick. Some people use Elmer's glue sticks at home. I just use the Sewline. And sometimes they're different colors, but it's the same exact product, just dyed differently. Okay, so here, I'm going to turn it this way just so it's easier. So again, this was cut 1.5. Supposed to be cut 1.5. So 1.5 minus 1/4 inch for the seam is 1 1/4. So I'm going to cut 1 1/4. And this is kind of, yeah, I cut it way too big. Let me make sure before I do this. Yep, I shouldn't have cut it so wide. Just ignore what I did. I'm wasting fabric today. Then I want 1 1/4 on the other side. 1 1/4 plus 1 1/4 is 2.5. So you can either line up the 2.5 or the 1 1/4. Hopefully y'all are following me. Cut this. And then these are supposed to be 2.5 by 2.5. So I'm going to do a straight edge here. And this actually saves a little bit of fabric if you cut not so big. Now, 2.5 plus 2.5 is 5. I always do a bigger cut and then a smaller cut. I get a lot of questions on why, and I learned it from Billy Louder on Simply Quilts like 25 years ago. So that was a lot easier than cutting 8 rectangles, sewing them together separately, and then cutting them. But you can do it the way the pattern says. You can do whatever you want to do. Okay. So now I'm going to put the block on my design board. You want the white on the inside. So because you're creating a circle right there. So you're creating a circle right here. And then I have all of my stripes going up and down. You could do this. Okay, great question, Kathy. At home, I keep my stitch length the same throughout the quilt. Here, because the sewing machine is a little bit slower, I will adjust it, but at home, I leave it the same. So either way, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna do them all up and down. But what I am gonna do is show you how to do poke a pin. So right here, 1/4 inch away, you want that to touch exactly right there. So I'm gonna put this right side together. I'm going to pin. And this is also one of the reasons that it's hard to do square in a square, because you want that to line up. So here you want to just make sure that hits exactly where that point is. And I actually don't have to do poke a pin, I just have to line it up because I want that to be, you want that rectangle to hit the center. So yeah, I do some stuff different here than I do at home. Different machines here. So see, I'm just lining that up to make sure it hits. Then I'm gonna sew down this intersection, and then I might iron and add this, or I might just add it and then iron. We'll see how it comes out. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the next one at the same time. So that hit perfectly. They don't always hit perfectly. Make sure my stripe is the same direction and add it. I have chain piece. I've left a little chain in between each so it stays together. And then that helps me not sew the wrong piece to the wrong piece, because I do that at least once a weekend. Open this up, place this. This one doesn't have to be lined up in the center. Then again, make sure your stripe is going up and down. And then I'm gonna just peek right here and make sure that hits. Pin that. And sew. Okay, so now I'm going to press everything to one side, and then I'm going to press open. To do that, I don't want to get these in my first press. So I'm going to do this side. Then I'm going to do like that and get the other side out of the way. Then I'm going to press all one direction. And I'm going to probably finger press that first. Okay, so everything's pressed one direction. Now I want to press it open. So I'm going to turn it. And this is what I love about chain piecing. As long as your pieces are correct right now, they're going to be correct when you sew it the next time. I'm going to press these open. And the heat from the iron, this board, is coming up. So you don't feel heat up here in the air. It's down here. Okay. So here I just want to make sure like this stuff is not flipped funny. Now before I do anything, I'm going to press this flat. I don't want to feel any bumps in those seams. And then I'm going to go back and we're going to pin the same thing. Pin, 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 both sides, and sew. Excuse me. Okay, now here, because I'm going to press open on the next step, I am going to cut these apart. But I'm just going to put them right sides together right away so I don't mess them up. Pin in each intersection. And then right here, make sure it lines up. So you guys let me know, what is your least favorite unit to make? Mine is for sure a square and a square. With the paper though, now it's totally fine. As long as I have the paper that's the size. If I don't have the paper that's the size, I might have a panic attack. I'm gonna do the same thing. That looks nice. You can clip the seams here. And then we're almost done. And I'll show you how to trim up the block. If you'll have any other questions on the block, let me know. This one I would say would be intermediate. The normal way to do a square and a square block is to cut a square and add triangles to the outside. And at that point, you're just working with bias and stretchy, and I don't think I could accurately do a square and a square block ever. I never got them to be exact. And it's probably because I sew fast, but the square and a square is it's my second favorite paper. My first favorite paper is half square triangle paper. So here I'm going to press flat to one side. Flat to one side. Press flat, one side. Then I'm going to press these open. So it looks so good. You can see when you're looking at this, you're a 1/4 inch away. That point is a 1/4 inch away throughout. I'm going to just trim the block. You can see a lot of these little threads. I can't stand those. So I'm just going to cut, but I'm not trying to cut in at all because I don't want to cut any of those points off. So see, I'm just kind of getting the threads. Sometimes I cut off more, but since I used paper on this one, it's pretty accurate. And so I'm gonna have less mistakes. So you guys will have to, this weekend, try out the square and a square paper and tell me what you think. So right there I trimmed a little, but I made sure I didn't trim off the 1/4 inch point. So this is block 13, designed by Joanna from Fig Tree Quilts. I'm going to show it to you again. So I had my stripes go the same way. The key to this is a lot of pinning and making sure you have a circle here. Again, if you're a beginner, you want to make it a little bit easier. You can just cut this center as one square. I'm going to show you all of our staff blocks. This is Teresa's block. These are all 9 inch. This is from the American Gatherings 3 collection by Primitive Gatherings. This is Nova's block, In the Garden by Corey Yoder, which just came in stock and it's selling like crazy. I think the white on white might be sold out. And then this is Denise's block, Blueprint by Camille Ross Kelly. And so when you look at these, what really stands out, you know, is your circle. So I feel like Denise's is the strongest just because she used one color, but you really just want this white coming around here and right here. So I think it looks really good. I'm gonna show you Gina and Pat Sloan's blocks. So this bottom left is Gina Tell from Thread Graffiti's block. She is using the 3 inch size and Wild Honey by Lila Boutique. This is mine, using 6 inch size, using Lighter Rose by Bunny Hill. And then this is Pat Sloan's block, using 9 inch blocks, and that is Rosie by Fig Tree, which is the designer today. And then now I'm going to show some pop-ups of all of your blocks and then answer some questions. So this is Nancy Fleury's block. She already did today's block. She's using the Parlor Fabric Collection from Moda. And then this is Nicole Segneri. She has block 13 used, and she's using the Americana fabric from Lori Holt. And then we have Monica Brohammer, block 13. Oh my gosh, all of you are doing the block 13 so early. And then this is block 12 from last week, Barbara Borkowski. And that is also looks like fig tree fabric. And then Pam Rossman, she's almost caught up. She has block 1 and block 12, and she's using the same collection Denise is, which is Camille Ross Kelly's Blueprint collection. Mary Smelko, Sewcialites 3, block 13, back porch. Super, super cute. And that one, if you look at it, she has reversed the 2 patches to where the ring is green on the center instead of on the outside, so her inside circle is green instead of white. This is Micah Christensen's block. She's using the Invigorate block in place of block 7 and the Flirty block in place of block 10 from Sewcialites 2 because I thought they went better with the Christmas theme. So that's great. So just remember there are free blocks from Sewcialites 1 and Sewcialites 2. That way you can mix and match. Kathy Anthony Fultz, she's using her Christmas stash and making 9-inch squares. Sushma Kumar, I can't believe we're almost halfway through. Here are my 12 blocks. Kimberly, I would appreciate it if you can give some tips on how to make fabric selection for setting blocks in between. Block 2, twinsies, never too late to start. Totally agree. Irma Gott, this is the Shoe Fly block by Sharon Holland. That's fig tree fabric, or no, what's her name? The name of the designer? French General. Yeah, and then this is Maria's. She's using the Posh collection. So much fun. And Melody Rem, she has block 12, and then she has all of her blocks there. Deb Ryan loves making the 3-inch cuties, especially when it's such an easy pattern. Yes, agree. Lori Maglio, this is the latest block, both in Posh and Tula Pink fabric. I made a variation on the Tula Pink to give it a little bit more color. So she flipped her units and just to get a different look, but they're all cut the same way. And then again, she in the center, I wanted to point out, she probably fussy cut that, but we did just release a video of Tula Pink showing her 25-year or 20th year exhibit at H&H if you guys want to check out a lot of Tula's quilts. Kenny, I didn't participate in the first 2, so I'm going to do all 3 this time. These are my 12-inch blocks. I'm using Minnick and Simpson stash to create 3-inch blocks. And then Jeannie is using Hollyhock and Roses by Bunny Hill Designs. Those are blocks 9 through 12. Oh my gosh, those look so good. Patty Bookless is catching up. Yard cleanup took priority. Oh, and she fussy cut the bird in the center. Darla is all caught up. She loves sewing these blocks. This is Callie & Co. by Corey Yoder. That's one of my very favorite collections. I still have some of it at home. Micah Christensen, she has blocks 5, 6, 7, and 12, and she did 1 fabric for the Shoe Fly block. So in that bottom right, she just used 1 fabric instead of 5 different ones. Nancy Fleury, Black Back Porch. That's where we started, right? Okay, so let's answer questions before I move on and don't get confused. Thank you to Darcy Stuckey for the super chat. Thank you so much. Bonnie Webb asks, can you give a short explanation of the 3D sole plate on the Laura Star and if it causes issues when ironing as opposed to pressing? Does it glide? Okay, I'm going to go to the iron and I'm going to answer some of these questions. Okay, so I really don't know the answer. What I know is that I have bought 6 Laura Star Smart U irons. I've never changed this plate. I have no idea if this is a different plate than they offer. Denise is going to answer because she's walking over here. But this is what I use. I've never had problems ever pressing or anything. So she's going to answer because I don't know the other answer.
I was going to say hold that iron like that.
Okay.
So the iron that Kimberly has right there, that is the 3D sole plate that's already on the iron. It's 3D because instead of it being flat, it's raised and rounded. So you get like a heavier,
Right there.
yes, you get a heavier placement on your fabric, but yes, it glides smooth. They do have these protective covers that you can put on.
So this came with the iron, but I've never used it.
That would be like, I'm assuming if you're working with like silk, chiffon.
Yeah.
But yes, this is it hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
Just flip it. There you go.
But this came with the iron. I've never used it though.
Yes. So that is the answer.
But you know, I never even thought about the sole or the plate of the iron. We got that question after H&H last week, and I sent it to Denise and Alicia, and I was like, do you know? I don't know. I didn't know there was a different one. So I've never had any problems with it. And what I like best about the iron is the heat that comes up from the bottom. Do I use glue when binding? So Teresa does all my binding. I'm so sorry to tell y'all that, but when I did it, and I do love doing binding, I use just clips, I don't use glue. I will say when we were at H&H, we bought some pre-made binding that's on the bias, and I love it. I love the packaging, I love the product. It's not here yet. I bought it on Saturday when I got home, and I forgot her name, I'm sorry. But it's super expensive, but if you ever want bias binding, I have no idea how to do bias binding. So I thought it was great, and it would be good for beginners. That didn't even answer the question, but no, I don't use glue. Stitchin' Cheek said, I have new respect for Kimberly and the crew after watching behind the scenes of how they film. Thank you so much for making these projects easier for us. Thank you. So what she's referring to is we have a membership program where you can pay a small amount per month and you get behind the scenes videos. And so we do, every month we give you a coupon, some behind the scenes. We do Q&As once a quarter, and then I'm doing what I would call stupid funny videos. I'm gonna do one this weekend. But I'm just gonna do random stuff and we'll see what you guys think. Are we doing a Halloween quilt along?
Sorry.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Denise, that's so funny. Okay, what's the name of the sew along Halloween? Spooky Boo to you. Okay, we already filmed it. What kind of glue, sew line?
No, we have not.
We haven't filmed
Oh,
it?
we haven't filmed it. No.
See, I don't know what's going on here. I just show up. See, that's the thing. I show up. These people do all the work. I get to do the fun part. I get to sit here, talk, run my mouth, act like I know what I'm doing, and everyone else has to do like the hard work. We haven't filmed it.
It'll come out around August.
It'll come around August. And we filmed the we have filmed Christmas, right?
We filmed Christmas,
Okay.
yes.
What pins do I use? I use Little House pins. There are several of them. I use the ones that are just, they come in the tin or the Kimberly's colors. Denise is going to answer the question somebody asked on the Caterpillar Glow mat. That's why she walked over there. I have no idea what it is. Now, to be totally transparent, that company sent me a bunch of products about 2 years ago, completely free. I did not pay for mine. I paid for this one, but I took it home and I did love it. And I only show products that I really, really like. So the Caterpillar mat, do you want to say it out loud?
Yes, so the one similar to hers, because they've upgraded the model.
Okay.
The one similar is a Caterpillar Glow Classic, and I'll throw the link in chat. But the one that she had that they upgraded is the Caterpillar Glow Premium 2. So you had the first version,
Okay.
and now they replaced it, and it's Premium 2.
And like with something like that, we're just going to leave what we have in here because we don't need to buy another one. Okay, what are the quilts behind me? So this one right here, Jordan is going to tell you, it's Jolly Bar, right?
Cupcake.
Cupcake, is it Jolly Bar?
No, it was under the video.
Oh, Lord, Jordan, hold on.
We'll come back. That one is spools, right? What's
Layer cakes.
Layer cake spools, free pattern. That one will come back. Okay, so now I get to show you something so exciting. So I'm gonna just kind of show you this. This is just like a flip through. You can't really, I'll wait till he locks it. And then I'll flip through a little bit. This is a very, very rough draft. This is like very rough draft. So instead of showing you that, Jordan has photos that I'm going to talk about. So the Granny Square Along crochet book is Lori Holt's first crochet books. This is first of a series. It's expected to arrive in September. It's available for pre-order now. There are 13 projects, and I'm going to show you all of the projects now and talk about them. So this is a banner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that uses 6 or 7 rounds. Very easy. The instructions are easy, and then at the very bottom there's a scallop that you add to each of them, so that's super easy. It looks harder than it is. Alicia is going to make one for the set, and so we can show you different colors. This is the pot holder. This is a basic granny square with a nice border and a little loop, and it is using 2 strands of Lori Holt's chunky thread. This is the canning jar. She gives you instructions for 3 different sizes of canning jars. And in some of these, everything is scrappy. The only thing that she does, sometimes the borders are the same, sometimes they're not. But this one is fun because you can do any size you want. And it's also very, very easy. There are buttons on the other side. And I was kind of worried about the buttons, but then she showed me how to do it and it was really easy. This is her Granny Square blanket or Afghan. I believe this uses 216 squares. It is huge. Funny story of behind the scenes is I was trying to measure things. Oh my gosh, Lori's gonna kill me. I was trying to measure things and like there was a lot of stuff going on, so there wasn't very much room. So I measured it and then I was like, you know what? I think I better have Jocelyn check my work. She checked my work. I was off 20 inches. Jocelyn was like, are you okay? So thank God Jocelyn was there because she talked some sense into me because I was like, something's not right. And I think it's, anyway, Jocelyn, she was so great. She laid it on the ground and she measured it correctly. I was trying to measure it on a table. I don't know what I was doing, but it's about 85 inches. Let me see. I don't want to tell you wrong now. 55 by 85, something like that. This is the bow. Okay, so this one, it looks a lot harder than it is, but it is actually a total of 40 granny squares. There's no fabric in there. It's basically double-sided granny squares. Great instructions. That's all scrappy. She used 1 color for the border. I was thinking about doing one of these like in 2 colors, just because I think that would be really striking. And then what she did is attach that to a hanger. You could attach it to any hanger, basically just whip stitched it to it. But it's easier than it looks. This is an up close of the bunting, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6 rounds of grannies, 1 outer border of single crochet, at the bottom a scallop border, and then the top, the way she makes it is you start over here, you do some chains, you add bunting, chain, 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 and then you come all the way back. This is her diagonal square pillow. I actually made one of these. She's gonna mail it back to me. I made the exact one in the book. This is basically just 36 rows of granny squares, and then you turn it to the back and make it like an envelope pillow. Super cute. And then the other version is just a smaller, less rounds. And she's using, most of these, she's just using pillows that she got at Home Goods. So just going to a Home Goods and just buying a decorative pillow with a color that matches. This is just a cute, that's a vintage radio and just cute photo from the book. And those are just granny squares. And then this is her rectangular pillow. And so you can see how it looks in 2 different colors, and you can either join the squares with a single crochet or a slip stitch, and that's talked about in the book. The single crochet will give you more of a ridge, and the slip stitch will give you more of a flatter look. And this is the buttons for the, so you can see the other side of the mason jars. Basically, those are fabric covered buttons that she makes. I'm going to show you the button kit in a little bit. And those are just loops that go around and they just pop right in. And then here is just a fun shot. And just a fun shot. That pin cushion is the very first pattern in the book. And this, okay, the last two are the ones I think are going to be the most popular. This is her granny project bag. This one is 16 squares. So you have 16. You have 4 on the front, 4 on the back, 4 on the inside, 2 times. So it's basically 16 granny squares. You don't have to put fabric in this. You don't have to line it. It is all done with yarn and a crochet hook and a yarn needle. There's no fabric involved, so you don't have to know how to sew, and it is so cute, and it's super heavy, and it's a lot, just the stability of it is a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. And then this is her scarf. In the book, she has 3 scarf sizes. And she does list all of the colors in every single project and what she used in case you want to replicate that. This is my favorite project in the whole book. This is, I'm trying to get the names right. Now she's changing some of the names, so they might change. This is her granny sewing book. So I am going to show you, is that the last photo? Okay, that's a small pillow. That's super cute. That's just basically 2 granny squares with a scallop on the outside, and you put the pillow in. 3 stockings. I'm going to be showing you some stuff on the stockings. Okay, so look at the stockings. There's a large, a medium, and a small. I'm going to talk about that. And then there's the bunting. Okay, so let's talk about the sewing book. So when I left her house, took some yarn. She gave it to me. I made, basically this is the sewing book. It's 2 squares, single crochet on the outside. The felt, we had Primitive Gatherings make us some felted wool and a color that would look really good with Lori's chunky thread. So it's a big enough piece. Inside, there will be 4 sheets. You cut 2 squares, you cut 2 rectangles out of here. You do some fun chunky thread stitching and you put it in here. I'm going to do, basically, I've done, you're gonna have to lock it, don't you think? I've done the outside. I'm doing a lot of the outside stuff, and then we're gonna do reels and stuff because I wanna show you, everything I'm doing is a little bit,
Can you take out the white stuff?
yeah, sorry. Everything I'm going to do is a different colorway than her. So I'm going to kind of show you what I'm doing a little bit different. And I'm going to, we'll have notes of what I'm doing, but these are all matching. So that's my first thing that I started. This is a pin cushion that Lori made me about 5 years ago. This is her very first batch of yarn. This is in the book as instructions. And then I'm gonna make the stockings. Now, if you look at her stocking, can you pop up the stocking one more time?
Yeah, 1 second. Give me 1 second.
It's okay, he's just gonna flip to it till he gets to it.
Why can't I go backwards?
Right there.
Oh.
Okay, so when you look at her stocking right there, they're all scrappy. They're all scrappy. I think the hardest thing with crochet is picking the colors. So I decided that I was gonna do 3 stockings in different colors. This is my first colorway. These are test blocks, and Denise and Alicia don't know it, but I have some other blocks in my car that I somehow made last night. So I'm gonna do some test blocks, but I'm gonna do all 3, but they're gonna each have 2 colors. Now that stocking would also look great if you just did 2 colors, not 3. So this is chamomile, blossom, and mint, sweet mint. But you could just, what I'm saying is you could do 1 color here, 1 color here. That would look great. So if you're scared of the scrappy, I'm going to be showing you ways to do it where it's a little bit simpler. Now, shout out to Sarah who did the photography. Free Spirit complimented her. Sarah and Jocelyn did the photography. I was there to kind of work on the pattern instructions. Okay, so basically we are not going to teach you how to crochet in the book, but what we encourage you to do is go to Lori Holt's crochet playlist on YouTube, and you can start practicing and learning to make these. It's very easy. You need to do a single crochet, a chain stitch, a double crochet, and a slip stitch. So I would just play around with her videos, get some yarn, and if you can do, she has instructions for this exact granny square on her channel. So if you can master that, then you can do everything in the book. But the book is not teaching you how to crochet. The projects are simple, creative, and unique, but you do need to know how to crochet already. And all of that is already out there for you on Lori Holt's channel. Now, when we were at Lori's house, I also decided she has 56 chunky threads right now. And someone asked, why does she call it chunky yarn? Lori always has a unique name for all of her products. You might notice her rickrack is not called rickrack, it's called vintage trim. That is Lori. She likes everything of hers to be hers. So this yarn started coming out about 6 years ago, and it came out in batches. So there's been 8 releases, total of 56 yarns. There is a 9th one coming. I've seen the names, but I haven't seen the yarn. So I'm going to show you what we put together. And I asked Lori what she wanted us to do, and this is what she came up with. And then shout out to Denise and Carly, who did all of the graphics. So this is set 1. Everything is chronological from when Lori released these. So this is her set 1. It tells you exactly what color is in here, and they all go together. So if you want to buy them, because you know, I think it's very overwhelming to go to Fat Quarter Shop's site and try to search 56 colors. We have all of them in stock right now except Blossom. That will be coming in August. So this is package 1. And these are all in order of when she released them. Package 2. So you can see when she was designing these, there was a theme in her mind of what she could do with them. And they're just called Cozy Crochet Series, and they're numbered. This is 2. This is 3. So you can see she started brighter, she went darker, and then she's got some brighter ones at the end. This is size 2 yarn, so the weight is size 2. This is size 4. And so to me, these are very lighter. These are darker, but these are lighter. And if you wanted to just kind of try something out, I would suggest getting one of the sets because you know the colors go together. In fact, if you look at that pin cushion she made me with set 1, that was all made from set 1. This is set 5. So these are kind of like her prairie fabrics. Set 6. This one's fun. Some of them have 6 and some have 8 because when she first started releasing thread, she was doing 6, then she moved to 8, etc., etc. I think this is the one that you like, right? Oh, it's the next one. Okay, sorry. There's one that Alicia really likes. Is this the one you're gonna? Okay, so Alicia's gonna try to make the banner using this. Oh, it's gonna look good. And Alicia, she learned how to crochet about 5 years ago, right? And then set 8. Now set 8 is out of stock until August. This is the color that's out of stock right now. And I think this one's great also. Okay, so those are her chunky threads. Now I'm going to talk about all the notions that she uses in the book and what I think you absolutely need and don't need. So for thread, honestly, you just need two skeins to start. With the chunky thread, she sells comfort grip crochet hooks. This is the I don't know the numbers. Oh, 4.0, 3.5, 4.5. For the pot holder in the book, she uses the 4.5. For every other project in the book, she uses a 3.5. She has a covered button kit. In this, I'm not going to open it, but in the covered button, you get 6 each, I think, let's see, 4 different sizes. One is 1/2 inch, one is about 3/4, one is between 3/4 and 1 inch, and one is a little bit over 1 inch. And so this is what she used for any of the projects. The only projects that use this are the mason jar, the sewing book, and the bag. Scissors. Most of you have scissors already. This is her, this is what we photoed in the book. You obviously, it's good to have a measuring tape. Stitchy readers, you could, you know, any kind of glasses. Now these are the notions I think that you definitely have to have. So if you're not doing any of those 3, you don't need these. These are pretty pins. Now she uses these pins to block her boards, to block her blocks. The blocking board is sold out. We have more coming. I can demonstrate how she does that when that comes back in stock. I actually don't do it this way. I use the other board, and there is a question about where did I get it. I got it off of Etsy about a year ago, and I paid way too much money for it. So Jocelyn is trying to source one similar. I have 4 of them at home. These are her point protectors. I don't think you have to have that, so I'm going to take that one out. The yarn needles you absolutely need, because this is how you weave in your ends, and your stitch markers. So if you're doing anything that, you know, you really need to put a lot together. So in my bag, these are the 3 things I have in my bag that you absolutely have to have, plus a pair of scissors. So just basically, if you want to start small, and if you want to start with only 2 notions, I would start here. If you already have crochet hooks, start here. You have to have the yarn needles though. I actually never used a yarn needle until I met Lori. I didn't even know what they were. I always just use my crochet hook. So there is a question, can I give an example of how the instructions are given? It will say make 16 granny squares that are 8 rounds, etc. It will tell you how many granny squares to make. The rest of the instructions are how to put them together. In the very beginning of the book, there are instructions on how to do the granny square Lori's method. And then Jordan, I've already answered the second one and the third one. Okay, other notions, the Stitchy Light, which a lot of you already have. Yarn winder. Now, I should have brought that bag from my car. So this is a yarn winder that Jordan and I demonstrated one day. Now this is something that Lori always uses. This is something I never use because I just pull the yarn right out of the spool, right out of the skein and use it.
There's an image on the back side.
Oh.
Other side.
So basically, actually, Lori's husband winds all of hers. So he takes it and he winds it into a ball. This is something I don't do. I think it does drive Lori crazy that I don't do it, but to me, it's just an extra step that I don't have time for. And then the yarn bowl, I have several of these. This is great if you're stitching at home and you have this on the ground and you want to pull it up. This is not great if you're at a basketball game. Her chunky thread is 100% cotton. Will it shrink? Yes, anything will shrink. I have no experience with crochet and knitting. Can these threads Kimberly is use for knitting? Yes, so it's a size 2. A lot of knitting yarn is size 1. The blocking board I got off at Etsy. We are hoping to stock something similar. Piggy is doing great. He's so excited. Emma's home from college, so he gets to lay around all day, and she gives him walks and gives him treats. So he has lost a lot of weight because we put him on a diet because our vet was like, he's way too fat. Now that Emma's home, he's going to get fat again. Just, I already know. Thank you to Tammy Stanley Quilts. Thank you, Kimberly, Denise, and Jordan, and Alicia for all your hard work, bringing us the wonderful videos and live streams. Thank you. Okay, so if you have more questions, I would just say for the crochet book, go visit Lori's channel this weekend and just go through and try to make a granny square and see if you can do it. You can also there's a ton of other granny square tutorials out there. Now, I can tell you the way she does hers is different than the way other people do them. So you will want to be familiar with Lori's method. And really, it's all about scrappy thread, having fun, very vintage. Jordan is, I don't know what he's doing over here today, but he is very hyper. Okay, so now I'm gonna move to my sewing progress. So on Monday, I made the little rooster block. This had so many flippin' pieces. It went all the way to JJ, I think. Yeah, it went all the way to JJ. Okay, that's too many pieces. But it actually took me 2 hours. I thought it was gonna take longer. There is a little button you can put for the eye. I mean, a suggested, but I'm gonna do that after I get it quilted, or I could just put an X, but I haven't decided what I'm gonna do for the eye. This sew along started in April. This is the Farmyard Friends pattern by Lori Holt. This is the, which fabric is this? Farmer's Daughter collection. So I just bought the kit, and then we're gonna go, I think we started here. This is the first block, and then we're gonna go down. So this is my May block. A Quilting Life block of the month. This is her free block. You can find it on Sherry McConnell's A Quilting Life blog. It's for May 2026. And this is my block, very simple. Now, talking about square and a square, I use the 6-inch square and a square paper to make the center. And Flying Geese, I used page 3 of the Flying Geese cheat sheet to come up with the math here. Those are two things I do. I kind of have like a system of what I'm gonna do, but Flying Geese is this way. I don't use the Flying Geese paper we sell. I use this method. I use our square and a square paper. I always use the half square triangle paper. So that's made, that's free. This is also free. This is the Riley Blake Designs 2026 Quilt Along. This is block 15 by Heather Peterson. And this is also using Farmer's Daughter fabric. And we're kind of getting towards the end of the program. This one I did use square and square paper. Same thing, I used that same technique for out here. These are just corner squares. So this one is the 3.5.
We use the 3 inch.
Oh, 3 inch. 3 inch. Don't pay attention to me. And then we're gonna go ahead and move to the new Moda. So, an X for an eye might make him look dead. Did you put that in there, Jordan?
True.
It would not. Okay.
What?
Why? It's an X. It's an eye.
Eyes means dead.
Yeah.
No, it does not. Y'all watch too much cartoons.
And what if it used X's?
Okay, y'all look crazy. So this is the brand new Moda catalog from May 2026. All of this that we purchased at Fat Quarter Shop is online. Some of it you can click to be notified. Some you can pre-purchase. I'm gonna go in order of the catalog, and I'm gonna show you each of the collections. The first collection is Floriori by Kate Spain. You think that's right, Jordan?
Yeah.
I think it's Floriori. These are her 2 new patterns. This is her collection overall. And here is her collection. It's got some purples.
You may want to lock it.
Yeah, that thing is driving me crazy today.
A little, so I need to zoom in a little more. There. Oh, look.
Okay, hold on.
When the power went out, it had.
Oh, it reset everything. Oh my gosh, our power went out on Saturday. It was crazy. I love this one. So she's got pinks, purples, and some teals. You'll notice several of these collections have teals in them in different gradients. Some are lighter and some are darker. The Birds and Blooms quilt kit Jordan's going to show you. It finishes at 61 by 77. That is a Kate Spain pattern, and it is going to come packaged in a Moda keepsake box. The next collection is called Sorel by Basic Gray. This one ships in January. These are the brand new Basic Gray patterns. Their patterns do always sell out. We're pre-selling the pre-cuts on this one. And these are the existing grunge, and several of these we already have the basic bundles online. So here is that collection. This one's a little bit bigger than Kate's. It's got birds, flowers. It's a little bit like it's got some black lines, so it's a little bit more graphic drawings than some of their past collections. And then, like I said, this is a blue, but you're going to see a lot of blue and teal. The next collection is called Sunshine and Small. Sorry. The next collection is called Catching Sunshine by Carrie Anguiano. This is a January delivery. We are pre-selling this, and these are her new patterns. And I bet we're going to have a trunk show of them because last time we were able to do a trunk show with all of her quilts from her second collection. This is the quilt collection overall. I happen to really love this one. I think it is very 80s and very 90s and also very current. I love the colors. And this right here is the same print as, let me find it, this. So your white on white is going to be that print. But I just think there's some really pretty prints in here. And again, you've got that, it's not teal, but it's, I should probably do a teal bundle. And then you've got your beautiful blues and then your darker blues. So if you have somebody that likes blue and yellow, I feel like that is like very much a popular colorway. I think this one will make a beautiful quilt. This one has a quilt kit called Sunshine and Smiles. It is a Jolly Bar quilt pattern that Angel designed, and so this will be the pattern that is included in the Sunshine and in the Catching Sunshine Jolly Bar. This next collection is called Garden Glam, and you might have seen we did a video at H&H last week with Vanessa, and she shows all of these projects in her video. These are her new patterns. The patterns are available now. The fabric will be coming in November. We're pre-selling this one. And this right here is actually a magic dot that we also already sell by the bolt. It is $52.30, $39. So here is that, the $52.30, $39. And this is $52.30-$51. So we sell both of these by the yard and full bolts. And this one, I am going to be making a paper roses, some paper rose quilt blocks to go with my previous paper rose blocks. So I might take these home with me this weekend. Let's see. And then this is the teal I was talking about. So I feel like this is a trending color. For the blocks I'm gonna make some pink roses for the rose, some yellow roses. I'm gonna use this green for the leaves. I'm trying to decide for the paper roses if I make a block with these two colorways also. So probably, I'll probably just start it, and if it looks good, I'll do it. If not, I made one brown before. You just put it on the back. The Magic Dot is a basic collection, and all of the Magic Dots in this collection are actually existing. There are no new ones. This one has two quilt kits. Petal Drops is our Jolly Bar pattern, 50 inches square. Winter Jasmine is an It's So Emma pattern, so you can buy the pattern separately on this one. It's 60 by 75, and that one's going to be so pretty once it's sewn up. The next collection is called Flora Plus Thread by Fancy That Design House. These are her 2 new patterns and her collection. And so this one really seems very trendy for younger people. This is what I feel like when you go in stores, this is kind of like clothing. Alicia's looking at me like I'm crazy. Maybe it's the stores my daughter goes to. So there's some really pretty, I could just really see a lot of clothing in this. And it has a little bit of Southwestern, but if you take that print out, it's not Southwestern. This one has a star-crossed table runner kit. It's a fat quarter shop kit. This is going to probably be a video, and this is 19 by 51. I'll have more information on that later in the year. Midsummer is the brand new collection by Sherry McConnell and Chelsea Stratton. We did a video with Sherry at H&H, and you can see all of this actually sewn up. This is a combination of Sherry and Chelsea's quilts. Now I can give you a little hint, and this is a row along quilt, and this is a row along quilt. They both have the same width. So we're gonna do a sew along together, all 3 of us, Sherry, Chelsea, and Fat Quarter Shop. And Sherry's gonna make hers, Chelsea's gonna make hers, and I'm gonna do a mix of both. We're putting together some fabric requirements for that now. All you need to know is if you're interested in doing that, they are fat 8th friendly patterns. I will be using fat quarter bundles. So if you wanna sew along with me, you can pre-order the fat quarter bundle. These patterns are all online, and this is the collection overall. The Bella bundle is already online. This ships in December. This one, we will be selling this as a full bolt. It is basically this print, white on white. And when you first see this collection, you see Americana, but when you see it sewn up, I really think there's so many things you could do with it that's not Americana. So you've got a lighter pink, medium pink, a darker red, got some stars, aqua, medium blue, and then a dark blue. So, you know, if you wanted to do a quilt that's not Americana, you could just do that. You could do a red and white quilt. You could do a navy and white quilt. There's so much you could do with it. This one will have the triangle medley quilt kit. That is our Jolly Bar pattern. It's 40 by 48. And so that one will be coming in the Jolly Bar pattern, or in the Jolly Bar packaging. Popcorn is Elizabeth Hartman's second collection with Moda Fabrics. Her first collection is outdoors, and I just finished making those blocks for that quilt. Some of these are her older patterns, and some are new. I have all of them on order, and the ones that are older, she's recoloring her covers to match with this collection. We were able to take photos of her booth at H&H, and it was so cute, and I love this quilt, and it's got outdoorsy stuff, and I usually don't like outdoorsy stuff, but it is really cute. This would be really fun to make just for the fun of doing the techniques. This is the collection overall. So these are your prints, these are your wovens, and these are the Bella Solids. So we are already putting together our Bella Solid bundle now. These 2 will deliver in November. So you've got flowers, ladybugs, stars, stripes, daisies. So cute. And this one, I really think this one would really mix and match well with the very first collection. It's just really, I think the colors came out really nice. So those are your prints. These are your wovens. And her patterns, some of them use wovens and some do not, but I think most of them do use the wovens. For example, the cats use the wovens, the dogs use the wovens.
Didn't she say she mixed one quilt that was with the prints, the cottons and wovens?
Yes, she did, and I can't remember exactly which one, but I think
I think the one that has like the koala.
oh, it's the koalas. Okay, so
Yeah.
this one was so cute. Okay, so this is monkeys, koalas, pandas, bears, giraffes, and tigers. And it is so cute because they're all in pajamas. It's called Pajama Party, and it's so cute. When we saw it, me and Denise loved it. So this one right here is called Busy Backyard. It's going to be a Moda boxed kit. It's 68 by 86. It is so cute. You got to check out her booth from H&H. I mean, I don't like frogs, and I definitely don't like snails. I don't even like butterflies, but I could totally make this quilt because it is just, look at all the technique in that. I love a good challenge. That would be so cute. The second quilt we have is called Layer Cake Sprinkles. This will be a free video kit using layer cake. So if you're interested in that, you can pre-order the layer cake. It's very easy and it's 48 by 60 inches. And then there is going to be a Jolly Bar, and this is our What's Poppin' quilt kit. It's 41 by 45. Super cute. I think that's really cute. I need to see if our Jolly Bar combines both the prints and the wovens to make sure that we can do that. Okay. The next collection that we purchased is Bonbon Jar and Lolly Jar. There is, this is going to be a Jar of Jollies will be a block of the month that she is hosting. There's very little information out for the stores yet, but there is a set of templates. It's super expensive, but if you buy that set of templates and you follow along with her online, you should be able to make this quilt. It's a digital image now. So the Bonbon Jars are your lights, and your Lolly Jars are your variety, and this is selvage to selvage. So here's your jar prints. And these also mix well with the lollies that are coming. And Jen did have some quilts hanging at H&H. So there's your, this will be yardage, pre-cuts, all the things. And then this is the lolly jar. So you can see you get all of these. I'll kind of flip through. You get all the colors. So you can have a lower dollar investment, but have a quilt that has more colorway with more impact with less dollars, if that makes sense. And then here's your other side. This one is a January pre-sale. The next collection is called Dearly Beloved by Three Sisters. Every time I hear that, I just think of the Prince song. This ships in December. I think this is going to be one of the most popular ones from the bucket because it is just classic colors. I really like these polka dots. I think those would make a great basic. Sometimes I hope Moda just watches so that they can, because I hate to like tell them what I think, but if they watch, then maybe they'll know. So just really pretty. Now, along with this, they have the linens. It's called Moki linen. These are 70% cotton, 30% linen. So these, there are existing Moki linens, and we have those in stock. These are going to be the newer colors, and I'm not sure if these will stay as basics or not, but they're really nice. And I think the hand is really nice. It's thick, but not too thick. So you have the linens here, Moki linens. I might be saying that wrong, I apologize. And then you have 4 108s. This will ship in December. So really pretty. The next collection, oh, I forgot the book. Here's all the quilts, sorry. Look how pretty it is. There's your linen and your backs. This is larkspur and linen, and we also did a video with Joanna at H&H, and she is the designer this week for our Sewcialites block. This one is so cute. This is gonna be a kit, but this was actually in her booth and also on a wall. There's like a walkway wall. It was in both places. And so she said this is the runaway hit that everyone was really talking about. I love when designers give us kind of a look of what they think is gonna be popular. It helps us order. Here is the collection. There are eyelets that I talked about earlier that we will have a bundle. And then she also has linens. So I'll show you the collection. I think some of these might mix well with the collection Midsummer also. So you've got, you have some really nice summery quilts, summery colors, and this red and blue. I might be wrong. See, I think you could mix in some of this. If you mix, it might take a little bit of work, but I do think some of these could mix in together. This is her background. It's a floral. We don't have as many full bolts from this collection just because there weren't that many that were white on white. Now her linens, I want to show them together. Really cute stuff in her booth. So she's got checks and stripes and some solids. Really cute. I haven't worked with linens before, but with all the bags Denise is doing and stuff, it's kind of making me want to do a little, like go out of my comfort zone a little bit. It would make a cute bag, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I just think it's cute. To me, I mean, if I made something with for Emma with this, she'd love it. Even my boys, I mean, they would like that. There is a Layer Cake Blossoms quilt kit. It is a shortcut pattern, so that's one that Jordan, Denise, and I will be filming as a free video. Jocelyn designed it. It's 55 by 65. And then we have the sheep. Sorry, what did I say?
Blossoms.
Okay, I'm correcting myself. Layer Cake Blooms. You know, it's really bad because I say words I don't even know I said. This is the Sheep and Clover quilt kit. So this is the one that I said was in there twice. This is a Moda box kit. That is the cutest thing I've ever seen. It's 65 by 65, and I really think that's unique. I think it uses a great use of the colors, and I think with that one it would be really cute if you made one of the sheep or 2 of the sheep out of the wovens and kind of mixed in the wovens with that. And then there is the Thread Collector's Quilt Kit. This is going to be our Jolly Bar pattern. I think this is going to be a really popular Jolly Bar. This is 60 by 72. And we have had a lot of questions on a Jolly Bar book. We are working on one. We need enough designs. It's going to be 2027. Blossom Jubilee by Ann Sutton. So cute. This is going to be her applique quilt. And then this one also is red, white, and blue. So there's a lot of red, white, and blue in this bucket. This one I think is just really nice. I believe we're selling this as a full bolt. It's just got some really nice colors in here. And I do think this mixes well with the one we currently have in stock that I am sewing with, which is the, what is it, Lighter Rose. I do think this would mix well with Lighter Rose. Sewcialites, yeah. And then here's her red. Okay. Can you email me? Email me SKU 3096-31. I think we need to sell one. I think we'll add that. Oh, and then there's, so Alicia pulled Lighter Rose, and so Lighter Rose has a lighter shade, but these reds definitely still match. So this is more of a pastel version. This will match with the new one that's red and white that we're using for the spooled quilt kit that we just loaded this week. It is petals and polka dots. Petals and polka dots?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll show it. Yeah, that's, so this is her current collection that we just loaded. Petals and polka dots. Gosh, that would be really pretty to add. That would be a really pretty quilt. This one has a Blossom Jubilee quilt kit. This is the Moda boxed kit. That's the applique pattern. And so that is, I really like the idea of the 4 patches with the applique on top. Obviously, you have to be very experienced to do this applique. And then Blossom Lane quilt kit is our Jolly Bar quilt pattern, and it's 45 inches by 54. We had a question about the sheep and if that was a placemat, so I'm going to go back and look. It is a mini quilt that is 16 by 32, and I assume, yes, that is part of this pattern. So it has 2 size options. I got out of order, sorry. Wildflower Gatherings is the next collection. I actually didn't see Lisa Bonjean at H&H. I don't know how I missed her, but she was never in the booth when I came by. This is a January delivery, and she is going to have patterns and a book. This is her collection, and the panel I'm going to show you, it says, make the rest of your life the best of your life. This is quite different than her previous collections, but I think it's going to do really well because you can get so many looks out of it. And here's that teal again. That's just really pretty. So it's a rather large collection, and I'm sure she will host a quilt along. I'm sure she's going to have a lot of stuff to do with this. She hasn't announced what she's doing yet that I know of, but really pretty, very big departure, January delivery. The panel, I'm gonna just hold it, is that fine? Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so on the table when you see it, it has like the buttonhole stitch, no, blanket stitch. I always say that wrong, I'm so sorry. The blanket stitch, it's got the look of it, so if you wanted to, you could stitch on top of it. So. And it's got the mushroom. The next collection is Pollinators by Robin Pickens. We also did a video with her. This ships in December. It's all about bees, and there is a collector's tin with this, and we will have a shortcut quilt with it. The collector's bin makes this bee quilt right here. These are her new patterns. These, I want you to really look at these. These are gonna be her big all over prints, and so she's gonna be using them within her quilts that have these big pieces. So that's just one big piece. So it'd make a beautiful backing. This is the collection. So you've got your yellows. Your aquas. H&H was an industry show, and it was last week, and it was for the quilt shops. So these are the yardages, but I want to show you those big prints that I talked about in the beginning. So there are 4 colors. So this, when I was showing you, you know, you could cut a big rectangle piece. And then there's one more color that's really striking. And it's not metallic, it's just printing. Then she has some 108s. And there are 3 108s. I do think the black is going to be a good seller. The collector's bin, Jordan's going to show you the quilt again.
I forgot this one.
Oh yeah, sorry. And then the Layer Cake Cascade quilt kit is going to be one of our shortcut patterns, and it's pretty big. It's 80 by 80. This is the first time that Robin has done labels, and she gave us some good hints. So, you know, these are labels, but this could just be something you could write on it. You could even cut these little motifs out. Oh, can I see it again? I want to show you one of the things she told us. So she was talking about the hexagons in the video. And so these hexagons, you could do English paper piecing with them. So, you know, you could cut out on the lines and use some foundation English paper piecing and it just give you a really pretty look, and you wouldn't have to think about centering it because it's already done. So that was a great idea. And then here's the labels, the 108s, and then this is the yardages that I showed you that are big. They're still 44 inches wide. They just have a focus of a bigger focal print. Wildly Cute Safari by Elena Amo is our next collection. Ships in November. It is, there are a lot of new patterns. This is her panel that I will show you in a second. And here is the collection. So it's a very cute safari collection. It's kind of in the new muted colors that are really popular if you go into baby stores. And I think it has a good range. You know, I think you could do, I think it definitely lends more boy than girl. And then the panel is 24 inches wide, and so it's an alternation of half square triangles and then motifs. So, you know, you could cut these out and pretend you made half square triangles. We are going to have a quilt kit. It's called Pause Please. The designer of that is us. I think, oh, it's a video. It's going to be a video, and then the pause, what we did is they're all pieced the same. Those are just set on point a little bit so that they shift. So that's all piecing, no applique. The next collection is called Cuddle Crew. This collection, there are 2 panels here. That is Shannon Cuddle, the 2.0 pile, and then 2 more panels. Oh,
No,
is
you're
it
good? You can grab the
okay?
first one.
Okay, so this is the new Shannon fabric that Moda's distributing, and it's the 2.0 pile, so it's thinner. So this is an alphabet, and then this one is so cute because it's already pieced together. I think you could take 2 1-yard pieces, put it together, stitch it, just do some little tacking stitches, and you'd have a whole quilt. It's so cute. I love the colors on this. So these are the panels that are more quilt related. So again, you've got animals and patchwork. The next two are project related. So this one will make a monkey and a tiger. And then the instructions, there's a QR code. So there's the lion. And this is it right here. So they're like the little, I don't know, they're like little pals. They're not like a, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a little, and then the next one I'm going to show you makes this bunny. So it's the baby bunny and basket. So like this is your basket, your bunny. It's really cute. The little fruit, vegetables. And there are, what's great about it is there's instructions so you can like number the pieces, you'll actually know what you're doing. The next collection is called Little Lovelies by Create Joy. This is a November shipment and it is part Valentine and part not Valentine. So the last Create Joy project we purchased had very similar prints to, I'll show you. So this is your yardage. You've got a range of red, pink, and black. But this print right here was in the previous collection slightly different. So if you liked that collection, you would be able to add more hearts to it. So it comes in that colorway, a white, I think just those two. And then for her 108s, she has a white and a black. And so this one I like because you could mix and match it with the last collection. The next, okay, so right there, what I want to do is take a little, tell you my favorites. So my favorites are Midsummer, Popcorn, and Blossom Jubilee. So I'm just going to show them to you. Sorry, I didn't tell her in advance I was going to do this. But it's something I used to do. And so this is Midsummer. That's okay. This is Blossom Jubilee. So Sherry and Chelsea and Ann Sutton. So I definitely think you could mix and match these. I mean, if you put them like right next to each other, they don't match exactly, but in a quilt, they're going to be separated. I think it would be a good match. So these are my top two. And then I love Popcorn, which is a total departure for me. But I just love the way she writes patterns. I love the way her quilts come together. I think, you know, her designs really stand alone. So you guys can comment in the chat and let me know what are your top three. I do love to see that. Now I'm going to show you the Ruby Star collections. We bought 3 of them. So this is Corsage by Jen Hewitt, November delivery. So it's got some beautiful handprints, florals, and ribbons. And we did get a recent shipment of Starry and Speckled, so we should have most of those SKUs in stock now. Those are now being reprinted at a faster than they were before. So this is Corsage by Jen Hewitt. She has some 108s in 3 colors. The Elizabeth Hartman Busy Background pattern will be available separately. Those will be available in September. She's currently drafting them now. This is Float by Rashida Coleman Hale. This is a January delivery. So it's got the balloon animals. This is so cute. Do you like this?
Yeah.
So cute. And then this one has running yardage. That's patchwork. Can you zoom out just a little bit? Or will it mess it up? No, leave it. So there's one. This is more of a beige. So you have your warm and your cool. Right?
Oh, yes, yes.
Sorry, so you have like, I'll show you these two next to each other. So like this one is this colorway, and then this one would really, you could put one yard on top of another yard, and it's a quilt that's pretty much done. The next collection is Sugar Cone by Kimberly Kite. This ships in December. Her last collection sold out right away, but this one's, you know, it's got confetti, desserts, ice cream, fruit, jelly, candies, Japanese desserts. And then she also has some patchwork and one colorway. Do y'all remember the candy that used to be like this? There used to be a store in the mall. Everyone in this room is way too young to know about this. But there was a Spencer's. No, not Spencer's. Swanson's. Do you remember that store? He's way too young for that. Swanson's was a store you could go in the mall, and they would have a whole thing like this, and you could buy it and eat it. It's so cute. Okay, now I'm gonna look, before I show you the next one, I'm gonna look and see what comments you guys have on what you think are your favorites, just because I would love to know. A lot of people are saying 70s throwback is popular. That is very true. Blues are my favorite. Sheep, Clover, Blossom Jubilee, Midsummer, Kate Spain, Floriana, Glamour, Garden Glam, Dearly Beloved. Yeah, so that's good. I love when I get to see a lot of different views, so it's not just one thing. You cannot find the Flying Geese PDF. All you have to do is type Flying Geese PDF, Flying Geese cheat sheet. Okay, so one thing to look forward to is next week is going to be the Riley Blake. Next week is going to be the Riley Blake preview, but I want to show you Lori's. Now, we just met with Riley Blake 2 days ago to order their fabric, so their fabric will be going online next week. This one is online because it is Lori Holt's. This is Pumpkin and Licorice. It will ship in March. So her very first 2-color combo was Berry and Sage, and then next is Denim and Daisies. And then this is Pumpkin and Licorice. This is a March delivery. So these are her collections that are smaller. So this will be the collection right here, 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 and these top 3. These are her 108s. She will have a USB machine embroidery to make the pumpkins. This is a previous quilt pattern. She will have 2 new vintage trims. This is existing, but these are new, and there will be large and small. She's going to have these scallop scissors. The scallop scissors were used in the crochet book. She will have 3 hats, so you can make a witch's hat in white, black, or multi. These are both quilt kits that will come packaged by Riley Blake, and the pattern, I believe, will only be available in the kit. This is Midnight Snack and Midnight Ride. This will be her Simply Shapes quilt along. So Simple Shapes quilt along. It's called Midnight Boo. And so she will host this on her website. Here are the shapes. She has a new So Simple shaper. It's not out yet, but I got to see it at her house and it was amazing. This is her new thread. We did get a question about what is the difference in Artful thread and the new Riley Blake thread, like the Berry and Sage. Okay, the Berry and Sage has sold really well. That is a 60 weight thread. Artful does not come in 60 weight. They come in 50 and 80.
I have sewn with it, and it glides very smooth.
Yeah, and
Like,
Lori
it's
really likes
comfortable
it.
to work with.
Like it's a little bit thinner than the 50 weight, but still strong enough. This is her new spider web pattern that uses her tall triangle ruler. This is her brand new Bewitched pattern. This will be a kit and everything from Fat Quarter Shop. This one will be published by It's So Emma. There will also be something cross stitch coming up with that. This is Home Again, which is an existing Lori Holt It's So Emma pattern. She recolored it in just the blacks and whites. This is the Trick or Treat Runner. That will be a free pattern. It does use her Vintage Milkmaid Star pattern. So you would need Vintage Milkmaid Star paper. So you would need the paper to make this. And what's great about it is if you look at the original coloring, she flipped the darks and the lights to get this effect. This is going to be Spellbound, Lori Holt's pattern, published by It's So Emma. There will maybe be something also with that. And here are all of her notions. So she's got a scallop scissors, which is really cute. You can use that when you're doing rug quilts or to cut felt. This is her new 60 weight thread. This is a new spool color. These are the vintage trims I talked about. She has 4 design boards, 2 charms, 1 scissor minder, 1 So Simple shape. She has a new 13-inch ruler. She has new washi tape that has an improved hold on fabric, so it'll stay better on fabric. She has her 2 3/4-inch beekeeper binder. She has a set of 4 puzzles. One is 20, one is 16, one is 24, and one is 28 pieces. They're 6 by 9. The popular shopping bags right here, and then her vinyl project bag. She has some stickers, some straw pals. So those are, you can put them on the end of your straws. And then this is going to be a treat container. Super cute. So you can pre-order all of that at Fat Quarter Shop. Jordan is going to pop up the 2 quilt kits. So this is Bewitched, and that background, let me see that real quick. I want to answer one question. Hold on. That background is, I believe, hold on, let me make sure I tell you right. Yeah, it is the rustic denim. So there is a brand new lightweight denim, and that is what the background of that quilt is, in color rustic.
Can you say the size?
It is 55 by 63. This is Midnight Ride. This is going to be a pre-boxed kit from Riley Blake. The pattern will be written by Riley Blake. It's 91 inches square, and it will come in the keepsake box. This is the Midnight Snack table topper. It is applique. It's 43 inches square. Comes in a Riley Blake box. Pattern is written by Riley Blake. This is the Spellbound quilt. It is designed by Lori Holt, published by It's So Emma. It's 54 by 68. It is all pieced. And then this is her Midnight Boo sew along. That will be her sew along that is applique that she hosts on her website. Okay. So, do you want to start with the new quilts?
Yeah, it's the future ones. We don't have the quilt kits.
Okay. So the ones I'm about to show you are brand new quilt kits, and we are borrowing these quilts. Oh, we're borrowing these quilts from the manufacturers. They are not out yet. So this is the Orchard House. Hold on, it's backwards.
Like upside down?
It's sideways.
Oh man.
So this is the Orchard House Quilt Kit. It is a packaged kit from Riley Blake. Orchard House Collection. Heather Peterson is the designer. This will be available in June. It's 76 inches square, and this one does come in a keepsake box. I'm going to show it to you on the table. So these we get to borrow in advance. So these are big half square triangles right here. Cute little roses. This is all pieced. I'm not sure if this is pieced by paper or just regular foundation piecing because I don't have the pattern yet. These are corner squares. And the backing that Heather put on her quilt is this black. I don't think we're offering that backing set though. This is the Spruce It Up Quilt Kit by Sandy Gervais. The fabric collection is Christmas Greetings. It's 59 by 80. This is coming packaged in a Riley Blake box. And it's really cute, and I love the backing of it. I'm going to show it to you.
Jordan, I got it.
So this one is all piecing, but it's, you know, it's more intricate. So this is a Christmas tree. This is your star. And then it's snowflakes, mistletoe. So lots of half square triangles, flying geese, and you can see the tree just gets bigger and bigger. It's just really pretty. And then at the very bottom, you see the bottom of the tree. And then this backing I love. This is called a cheater print, and it's from the collection. So basically, you know, it looks like you pieced it, but you didn't. And this is the label that Riley Blake put on it.
Now we're in what's new.
Okay, now I'm going to show you what's new. So these are actually items that are in stock. This is the Bow Quilt Kit featuring a cat named Stitch. Can you set it where it doesn't zoom? No, so it doesn't blurry.
No, because he's going to be zooming in and out.
Oh, okay. So this is the Bow Quilt. It finishes at 74 by 74. It is the Cat Named Stitch collection. Love it. And then this is a Bella Solid. So basically, there's two blocks. They're pieced exactly the same. It's half the size with a border on the outside. I will be doing something really fun with this pattern. I think I'm going to do a scrappy quilt out of this, but really cute. Love this pattern. It is a classic and vintage, so the block pattern is free. Oh, sorry. The block pattern is free, but if you want the written pattern, it's a low price PDF. So again, this just has side borders and top and bottom borders. And when you're looking at the block, it's basically rectangle with corner squares, rectangle with corner squares. It's so easy. And again, this is a Bella Solid.
Oh.
I want them to see how pretty it is.
Just so you know, there's no cat prints in this quilt. The collection is a cat named Stitch.
And so we got a lot of questions, but we did not put cats in this quilt. It's 74 inches square. This is the Jolly Bar pattern and quilt that comes with the Jolly Bar that is a cat named Stitch. So it's called Snug as a Bug. The pattern's only in the Jolly Bar, so it mixes a solid and a print Jolly Bar. Here's your binding, and this is the backing set that's available separately. And it's really cute. And Denise gets to hold it all by herself.
It's small.
It's cute and it's really simple. Pop, okay. So really, really, really cute. I like the pantograph on it. And this one, this is the cat print. So all of you that want to see the cat print, this is what it looks like. It's only one print and a couple of colorways. So if you wanted to take that out, you know, you could. This one is the Kittens Quilt Kit. The pattern is written by Camille Ross Kelly and it's cat heads. It's so cute. So this is how we have kitted it up at Back Quarter Shop. These are all the pieces that come in it. The white on white is from the collection. And then this is the backing set that's available separately. We did put a cat on the backing since it is a cat on the front. And Jordan is going to show you a pop-up of the quilt made. Since we don't have it here, it is 74 inches square. And to me, it looks simple because it's pinwheels and corner squares and half square triangles. 74 inches square. Now this next quilt, are we showing it? No, because it's not made yet.
A block, I think she.
We're showing a block. Okay. So this is the long-awaited spooled quilt kit. So the spooled quilt along is going to be, it's part of your Sew Sampler. You get a free block in each Sew Sampler box. You get a free block in each, a free block pattern in each Sew Sampler box starting April, is it April or May? I think April 2026. So this is block 1 that goes right here. If you would like the quilt pattern, if you would like the quilt fabric requirements, they are now available. We have listed them in several different fabric collections. If you want to make it exactly like Jocelyn designed, we have the spooled quilt kit available. This is the kit, this is the backing set, and here's your fabric requirements. Your finishing pattern will come in block 12. So each month, now if you're not in the Sew Sampler box and you want to participate, we offer those as PDFs after the box has had it about a month. And we got a lot of questions on this one, so we're excited this is out now. The finished size is 54 inches square. This quilt, Jordan's going to show you a photo. It's called Nordic Echo. It features the Mira collection by Zen Chic. So this is the quilt. It's 49 inches square. And this is what your quilt kit will look like. I'm just going to put it on the side. I like for you to be able to see the actual fabric. We take a lot of pride in our packaging here. So it's got all the beautiful fabrics. And it also has a couple of spotted SKUs in it, and that is by Zen Chic. The next collection he's also gonna pop up. This is a huge kit. This is the Midwinter Reverie Block of the Month quilt. So this is the pattern. It is by Shelly Cavana. Both the pattern and the fabric collection are both by her. And it's a 12-month block of the month. We are selling it as a full kit. You can check her out at corasquilts.com to see if she is doing a quilt along. And this was packaged by us. Okay, so I'm going to show you the fabric. We're going to take the quilt away. Here's your kit. It's huge. And this solid right here, I believe is, for, can I see the kit cover? I think it is, let me see. Oh, that's heavy.
Bella.
It is Bella colored 98. And then if you want a backing set, this is what we offer. It might be a 108. I think this is a 108 backing set, I believe. So that is ginormous. And I have been seeing on Reddit, a lot of people have just finished their Barn Star sampler and they've been showing it on Reddit, so that's super fun. We have other quilt kits that have come in. This is the casserole quilt kit featuring the Scenery collection by Elizabeth Hartman, her first fabric collection with Moda. It's 86 inches square. It comes in the Moda keepsake box. And it is a Bella Solid that is used as the background. And this one, it's all piece, no applique. So that's super exciting. Also from Moda, we just got the wrapped quilt kit. This is the gingerbread lane collection by Kylie's Quilt Room. It's 51 inches square. We did show the quilt in person a couple of weeks ago, so if you want to see it all sewn up, we were able to show that to you. This is how it comes boxed. The next quilt, this is the Daybreak Runner quilt featuring Daybreak on the Prairie by Modern Prairie. It's 24 inches wide by 66 inches. It is packaged in a keepsake box. The pattern is written for 3 different colorways, but Riley Blake kitted it in the blue. And this is how it comes packaged. So like I said, there's 3 colorways packaged in the blue. To go along with that,
This is a big one.
this is a 116 by 95. This is Wildflower Fields featuring the same collection by Modern Prairie, 95 by 116. Oh my gosh, it is so heavy. Okay, let's see it on the table. Oh my gosh, this is like, ooh.
I lost a corner.
So this one, I showed you the kit. I actually showed you the actual physical kit last time, and we talked about the piecing on this. So I wanted to show you now that we have the quilt. So this is your block. That's your block. And what you do is well, let's go up so I don't show you one on the corner. Right there. Okay, so this is, so that's one block. The next block is here. So the next block has a smaller star and it has this going out, and that is creating it. Now it is on point, so basically you have your blocks and then you're on point right here. I think this is beautiful. I would not try it. It looks way too hard for me. But I do think the color of this is really nicely placed because it's, you know, it gradiates pinks, reds, purples, or pinks, blues, purples, and then back to pink. And then they just put a basic on the back. So that was Riley Blake. Now we're moving to Art Gallery. Art Gallery just started offering quilt kits in the last month or two. This is the Tall Pines quilt kit, and it's packaged by Art Gallery. This is your pattern. And I'm going to show you the quilt.
No.
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 You showed on the pattern cover.
Okay, there's the quilt. What's in your hand?
The next one.
Oh, the next one, sorry. So that's Tall Pines by Sharon Holland. The next one is Sweet Scallops. Now this one they have kitted in a couple of different collections. So I believe we've shown it to you before. Yeah, we've shown it to you before. This one is Sweet Scallops. This is the Summer Homestead collection by Social Bee Collective, 60 by 66. And I think we showed this one to you in the kit packaging.
Yes.
So sometimes we show them at different times, and that's just when we get them. But this one I really think is cute. The next one is Summer Berry Quilt Kit, also by Art Gallery. It's upside down.
I don't think so.
Oh, never mind. Summer Berry Quilt Kit. This is the Summer Homestead Collection by Social Bee Collective. It's 60 wide by 69 high. Super cute. It's all pieced, and so just like Jordan said, it's inversed. So you've got darks and lights reversed and then flipped. Now, if you wanted to, you could make all of your strawberries go the same direction if you wanted to. Okay, now I'm going to show you new fabrics. This is the Gingerbread Lane collection by Kylie's Quilt Room, and this is the same one from the wrapped quilt we just showed you. This is Holiday Cheer by Stacy Itsu. This one does have a panel. It's very vintage. The next collection is a Morris & Company collection by Free Spirit. It's called Loden, and we have yardage, half yard bundles, and fat quarter bundles. And the Free Spirit Morris & Company, because Morris fabric is made by lots of people, the Free Spirit always sells the best out of that genre. We also have two new batiks. We have Riverside Tonga and Ember Tonga. So this is Riverside, this is Ember, this is Timeless Treasure. So we have yardage, and then we also have pre-cuts, and that includes strips. They're strips and squares. This next one I love. This is called Soaring Dreams by Jessica Yon Low of Figo. Super cute. It's the little bears that are aviation. And this morning, my son, no, last night, he told me he wants to be an astronaut. I was like, you want to be what? And he started talking about Apollo and some other thing. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. But his cousin, who is my nephew, works for SpaceX and was actually on the launch pad when whatever just happened. So he is like, wants to do that now. And I'm like, I don't know, but go ahead. I don't understand it. And then he started telling me about the two companies. I don't know. This is Freedom Rings Batiks by Island Batiks. And Island Batiks always has a great variation in color in terms of if you're looking for a batik with a really high color variance, that's where you would want to purchase a batik. This is Wilmington's Let It Snowman. It's super cute. It's by Daniel Leone. This is her 24-inch panel. It's a big snowman. So here's the top. And the bottom. Wilmington collections are always a little bit smaller. And so I think for a beginner, they're a little bit easier to use because you have less choices to make. Katerina Rosella has the In Shadow collection by Art Gallery. So this one is obviously Halloween. You've got ghost, flowers, angry pumpkins, candy corn, and this one's like a toile. In Shadow. And it's spelled E-N Shadow. Now this next collection I really like. This is called Folky Chicken. It is so cute. It's by Natalie Briscoe. It's by Wyndham, and I love it. I don't even like chickens. I don't want to quilt with chickens, but it is so cute. I mean, I think the colors on this are amazing. So this is probably from this week my favorite collection that has arrived at Fat Quarter Shop. Allison Harris. This is her newest collection with Wyndham. It's called Honey Crisp. And so this is the motif. It's like a apple core patchwork. And then here are just all the prints. And the patterns that go with it. This is the Honey Crisp pattern, Thicket, Orchard, and Glimmer. And I will tell you that Cluck Sew patterns sell fabulous, and they are great sellers. We got to run into her last week at H&H, and I hadn't seen her in probably 10 years, and that was so awesome. From Sarah Hart's, she has a brand new quilter keychain and a sewing machine keychain. So this is so cute. They have had this as a charm. Really cute. And then I have something super exciting to show you. The Melissa Mortensen pattern finally came in that I'm going to make for Emma. It's called Bows and Monograms. That means I have to actually get myself in gear and make it. But this is the one that you can make with different objects at the bottom. There's a tree, a pumpkin, or you can do an alphabet, and you can make a smaller version or a larger version with stars. And you could interchange all of it. It's so cute. I have to finally make it. Now this next thing I love. Denise does not. These are so flippin' cute. We found these at H&H last week. I don't know how. Did you order these when we were at the booth?
Yeah.
I don't know how they came here so fast. We literally saw these last Thursday. I love these bags. They are called Twice Sheared Sheep. And it's like a, I don't know what the texture is. But it's so cute. Okay. Tell me that it's not the cutest thing you ever saw. I think this is gonna sell out over the weekend, but they're so cute. So yeah, super cute. So you would just search Twice Sheared Sheep. This is a company that does yarn. And we didn't buy their yarn, but we bought their bags because I thought they were really cute. They kind of feel like recycled, like kind of like a, what is that texture? It's like canvas, but it feels like you can wash it. Okay, I'm going to answer the last few questions, and then I need to go eat lunch. What is the name of the modern prairie quilt pattern? You'd have to open that box, and I'd have to even see if they sell it separately. I think they're talking about the other, the big one.
What was the name of it, Jordan? The quilt.
Go back up, and I'll find it. Right
There. Go back down.
Okay. Wildflower Fields is the pattern that is in the kit. I don't know if we sell it separately off the top of my head. Why do art gallery fabrics feel different than others? Because it's also a higher price. It's just made better. It's more like a garment fabric. So it's thinner, but it has more threads. There's a lot of information on the art gallery website. You could read about it. Where do we find the alternate fabric collections for the spooled block of the month? You search spooled quilt on our site. It should pop up. You can also search spooled quilt Jolly Jabber. It should come up. Have I finished my outdoors quilt? Okay, so I have all the blocks done, and Denise wants to play a joke on me. We're going to get to it. I don't know when we're going to sew outside to finish it. Do you think we're really going to do it?
Yeah.
She's really going to make me. So she really is going to put my sewing machine outside. How she's going to get my sewing machine outside, I have no idea. Spellbound is too cute. What is the pattern? When is that pattern coming out? That is Lori's new collection. What is the date on that front of the cover? Let's see. I think it's December. March. So probably, yeah, March 2027. Probably the patterns will probably come out in February. Will I have another patriotic Jolly Bar when the Lori Holt bag panels? Will I have another patriotic Jolly Bar? I don't think I have one planned right now. And then when will Lori Holt panels be back in stock? Off the top of my head, I don't know, but I order her fabric every day. And we get a shipment of Riley Blake every day. is the candy corn quilt piece or applique. I believe it's applique. And then thank you, Valeria Bauer, for the super chat. And it is 11:30, so I have been talking and running my mouth for 2.5 hours. So I'm going to let you guys go. I would love for you to comment and let me know what was your favorite brand new Moda fabric. And let me know also what is your favorite Sewcialites block so far. And I'll be back next week with Sewcialites Block 14.